Texas Water Trade's role is to use the freshwater resources that we transact for to benefit as many stakeholders as possible on the Texas coast. What the Connected Coast is working towards is identifying and implementing solutions that are novel or perhaps underused, such as water markets, to meet the demands of both people and nature on the Texas coast. Unfortunately, the Texas coast is last in line for fresh water, and so as upstream and local water use and demand increases, that means that there's less water available for the coast. We have other things going on, such as drought, such as rising air temperatures that further strain our water resources and worsen the problem. We work with our various partners up and down the coast to demonstrate that those types of projects are helping our natural resources, so our shorebirds, our waterfowl populations, our ecologically and economically important fishery species, and hopefully build interest around those projects to make them more commonplace. We're bringing corporate and private foundation dollars to make these water transactions possible. So we're providing additional revenues for landowners, for folks that hold water rights that perhaps they didn't know there was an appetite for, providing water, environmental water for natural resources.
Texas Water Trade is bringing a lot of awareness to the massive water issues we're facing in the state of Texas. Galveston Bay Foundation and Texas Water Trade have partnered on a project to purchase irrigation water and create freshwater wetlands near the bay. This creates habitat for wildlife and also provides freshwater inflows to the bay system.
A lot of shorebird species travel tens of thousands of miles each year during migration, so they're nesting up in the Arctic and wintering down in South America. So Texas is kind of smack dab in the middle for them. A lot of species are crossing the Gulf of Mexico, and so this is the first place that they land after crossing the Gulf of Mexico. So it's important that they're finding abundance of food here to replenish their fat reserves.
The reason the birds are here is the water is providing habitat for aquatic invertebrates and wetland plants to grow in, and then they come eat those things.
We work with whooping cranes, and so we think of whooping cranes as being like an umbrella species, and so all of the habitat that we're protecting and trying to improve for whooping cranes is actually benefiting a lot of other species as well.
So we're trying to use the freshwater resources that we transact for to benefit as many stakeholders as possible on the Texas coast. These are natural resources that also support local coastal communities and economies.
We've been able to flood areas that we haven't flooded before. I could never flood as much as I'm able to flood now. I'm actually creating new habitat in places that I would not have. And it's fun to watch the fields that were fallow. The first year, there's not much to them, but the second year, you start seeing some of those native plants prosper. And by about the third year, you've got a seed bank and you're in the business. The hunting is so good by the third year. It's a big difference. And most of the outfitters don't go to this trouble or don't have the opportunity. This is what I do. This is what I do. I could make some money doing something else, but I'd rather be doing this right here.